I am Graham, welcome back. I have got 10 great movies for you to check out this month. Well, we're all still on lockdown, so let's just dive into it. Number 10, Mary. David is a struggling blue-collar captain looking to make a better life for his family, strangely drawn to an abandoned ship that is up for auction. David impulsively buys the boat, believing it will be his family's ticket to happiness and prosperity. But soon they embark on their maiden journey. Strange and frightening events begin to terrorise David and his family, causing them to turn one another and doubt their own sanity. A great cast anchored by Gary Oldman and Emily Mortimer make this something that you would genuinely just go and watch. Unfortunately, it's a little bit of a throwaway horror movie, but it still has got these two great actors in a kind of horror genre movie. It's fun, you can kind of see where it's going to go, and it doesn't offer much in the form of surprises, but it's a haunted seafaring adventure with two fantastic actors in it. Why not give it a shot? Number 9, Outbreak. Colonel Dr. Sam Daniels is assigned to investigate a lethal disease in an African village with his crew. They are impressed by the disease, and Colonel Daniels reports his findings, afraid of contamination in the USA. An African smuggled monkey carrier of the disease is brought to the US and is released into the woods and spreads the disease in the beginning of an outbreak in a small town in California. Now Colonel Daniels and his team must fight the invisible enemy. It kinda seems fitting to throw this on the list. If you haven't seen it, Wolfgang Petersen directed this movie in the mid-90s. He had one hell of a cast, and it's a kinda glamorized, Hollywoodized version of an Outbreak movie. But it's fun, it's engaging, it moves rather quickly, and it gets to a kinda nice finale at the end of it. It's a fun popcorn movie. Number 8, Contagion. Soon after her return from a business trip to Hong Kong, Beth Emhoff dies in what is a flu or some other type infection. Her young son dies later the same day. Thus begins the spread of a deadly infection. For doctors and administrators at the US Centers for Disease Control, several days pass before anyone realises the extent or gravity of this new infection. I always really like Steven Soderbergh movies, and again he litters this with a fantastic cast who all have varying degrees of screen time, but they're all wonderful in their own right. And I really like Contagion when it came out, and I've watched it a couple of times since then. The most terrifying thing about it is it seems almost like a documentary now, the way it explains this viral outbreak, how it infects and takes over the world, and the ramifications that come from it. It is entertaining, but more than a little scary with today's climate. Number 7, Black Book. Dutch VIP Van Geen, who has excellent German connections, runs a countryside escape route mainly used by the Jews who have been hiding themselves and considerable valuables. A boat full of them is suddenly raided by the Nazis. A rare survivor, Rachel Stein, follows Jew resistance. She volunteers to gain entrance into the Nazi HQ by seducing a high-ranking officer. Several dangerous games of cat and mouse ensue, exacting bloody tolls on both sides. Ultimately, traitors are found out. Paul Verhoeven's Black Book seems to be one of these movies that's just fell into the ether. No one really talks about it. No one really mentions it at all, and it's a real shame because it is a wonderfully fantastic edge of the seat, rip-roaring adventure thriller. Now, it's not something unusual. It's the form of someone going into the resistance against the Nazis. It's high stakes, tension filled. There could be double crosses, there will be adventure, there will be lots of feelings in this one, as it's edge of the seat kind of entertainment. Spectacularly shot, it looks amazing, has fantastic actors doing terrific work, and I cannot recommend this one highly enough. Number 6, The Nice Guys. Los Angeles, 1978. Jackson Healy is a private investigator of sorts. He's the man you call when someone needs to be given a message, violently. Holland March is more legit and conventional, taking cases involving tracking down missing people and the like. Their paths cross when porn star Misty Mountains dies in a car crash. Misty's aunt hires March after she believes that Misty is still alive. Their investigations lead them to a young woman named Amelia and a massive conspiracy plot. The Nice Guys has everything you could possibly want. It's a mystery, it's two compelling main characters, both with their problems, and it's just fun to see these two characters butt heads while trying to solve this mystery almost haphazardly. Ryan Gosling is hilarious as the kind of goofy character, the one that's always doing things wrong, who's always hilarious and funny in his actions. There is a deadpan moment where he discovers a body which is just expertly timed, expertly delivered, and just so funny. Russell Crowe is the hard man, the tougher of the two, and together they make a great partnership. I'm still waiting on my sequel to this murder mystery, and I want it now. Number 5, Angel Has Fallen. After training in the facility of his friend Wade Jennings, Mike Banning travels up with his team to protect President Turnbull in a fishing trip. However, they are attacked by drones that kills 18 agents, and only the wounded Mike and Trumbull in comas survive. When Mike awakens at the hospital, he is cuffed to the bed, accused of attempting to assassinate Trumbull. Soon he learns that he was framed, and now he has to prove his innocence to protect the life of Trumbull. Angel Has Fallen is wonderfully over the top. The explosions have explosions. It is ridiculously big and loud and in your face, but it owns it. It knows the movie it wants to be, and it just achieves it. This was ridiculously fun. We get Nick Nolte as Jared Butler's father in this, and it's perfect casting. Like I said, this has more explosions than anything else, and it's all the better for having it. I think this is a terrific film and a great wrap up of a trilogy. Number 4, Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. It's 1968 in America. Change is blowing in the wind, but seemingly far removed from the unrest in the cities is the small town of Mill Valley, where for generations the shadows of the Bellows family has loomed large. It is in their mansion on the edge of town that Sarah, a young girl with horrible secrets, turned her tortured life into a series of scary stories written in a book that has transcended time. Stories that have a way of becoming all too real for a group of teenagers who discover her terrifying tome. I wanted to love Scary Stories more than I actually did. It's a horror movie that's aimed more towards the teenage audience, and I think that's why I just couldn't quite connect to it. It is almost like an anthology story with a bigger wraparound tale as it plots into these little spooky elements, and I found they got progressively less interesting or scary the more they went on, starting off with the fantastic scarecrow one that's all over the posters. It just kind of diminishing returns. It was an interesting idea. I would wholeheartedly suggest checking it out. It's fun. It may be more of your thing than it was mine's, but it's still a really well made movie. It's interesting enough. Number 3, Knowing. In 1959, a group of primary school students draw pictures for a time capsule of what they think the world will look like in 2009. One of the children completes a long list of numbers instead. In 2009, the school opens the capsule and distributes the pictures to the students, with Caleb getting the page with all the numbers. His father, John, a university professor and astrophysicist, is intrigued, and in managing to decipher the code, realises that the numbers present the date, location and number of people killed in major catastrophes. He also sees that there are 3 disasters that have yet to occur. Alex Proyas directs with Nicolas Cage starring, and he manages to keep it under the typical Cageisms that we're used to. This is a movie that I have fond memories of, and I recently went back and rewatched it, and I think for 90% of it, it is terrifically edge of the seat stuff. There are some things that just don't quite make sense some of the time, but I really do like it. The one thing I don't fully connect with is the last 10 minutes of the movie, the ending of it, But everything up to then is wonderful. It creates this mystery, this kind of atmosphere about it, this sense of dread, of ominous intent of what's going to happen, and it just drives it forward. It's a really fun and interesting movie. A lot of people kind of write this one off, and I think it's definitely worth checking out. Number 2, 21 Bridges. Thrust into a citywide manhunt for a duo of cop killers, NYPD detective Andre Davis begins to uncover a massive conspiracy that links his fellow police officers to a criminal empire, and must decide who he is hunting and who is actually hunting him. During the manhunt, Manhattan is completely locked down for the first time in its history. No exit or entry to the island, including all 21 bridges. I wanted to love 21 Bridges and never quite got there. It starts really strong with this fantastic takedown of a drug den, which involved police and then a massive shootout, and that just amped me up. I thought, here we go, we're onto something really special. But pretty soon it falls into kind of mediocrity. It has a great performance from Chadwick Boseman and some other actors as well, and the plot goes in a kind of conventional manner later on. But for the first half, it is this constant kinetic action chase sequence, which is high pressure, high situations, and just thrilling to watch. I think it's worth checking out. It's one of those watch one and kind of done type of movies. Throw it on, couple of beers, some popcorn, fine. Number 1, Hustlers. Working as a stripper to make ends meet, Destiny's life changes forever when she becomes friends with Ramona, the club's top money earner. Ramona soon shows Destiny how to finagle her way around the wealthy Wall Street clientele who frequent the club. But when the 2008 economic collapse cuts into their profits, the gals and 2 other dancers devise a daring scheme to take their lives back. I saw the trailer for Hustlers and it just looked not my kind of thing. But I kind of put it on when it was on Prime, give it a shot, and it turned out to be a movie completely different to what I first expected. It's a true story. It's almost akin to the kind of rise and fall of a gangster of sorts. We've got this group of women who are kind of low rung and start to work their way up, earning money, bending the law to ultimately breaking it, to their obvious fall that's going to come, and it's them retelling the story. And there's some really nice touches in this, especially from the director, who stages things in such a wonderful way. The cast and crew are all terrific and look as if they're having fun and are really relatable in certain scenes. It gives you an insight into a world I would never have known, and I found a movie that was really rather enjoyable, surprisingly so. I was really surprised by how much this engaged me, gave me characters I wanted to see more of, and a story that I was really invested in. Hustlers is recommended my number 1 for a reason. It's one that you may have bypassed in the cinema for the reasons I did. Don't let that stop you. Check it out. It's terrific. So there we have it, 10 great movies for you to check out this month. I hope you find something there that you really want to watch. And if I've missed something out, let me know in the comment box below with a recommendation, and I will happily check that out. I've got lots of time on my hands at the moment. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time on Man v Film.